Welcome to Conversations with the Black Girl Blogger podcast, where you will hear amazing human interest stories from everyday people. They will inspire you, they will encourage you, and they will help you to overcome all of what you are going through in your life. I am your host, Aisha Morgan, and let's meet today's guest. Throughout today's episode, you guys are going to hear different clips from the Celebrity Vendetta YouTube page. It is best to watch on YouTube so that you can actually see the videos. But if you are listening to the audio podcast, you will be able to hear exactly what it is that we are talking about. But if you have time, go over to YouTube so that you can get the full effect of today's episode. So we are here with my cousin DJ. I asked him to come on the podcast because him and another one of our cousins post videos of these games, and I was so confused as to what the games were about. So I'm like, what is this about? Like, what are these videos that y'all are posting about these video games? I don't get it. And so I was like, you got to come on the podcast and you got to explain what this whole concept is. So their recommendation was for me to watch all 24 videos. So we were supposed to actually have this discussion last week, but I watched all 24 videos this week, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like I was all in it. I really was into it. It was very weird that it was not something that I typically would sit there and be watching, but there's like a story to these videos of video games. So I'm going to let DJ kind of introduce himself, and then we are going to get right into what I have been watching for the past week.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to this podcast, but Silverback, a member of DJB, Dirty Jer's Best Productions. We specialize in entertainment and hip hop. Our other cousin, Al Genius, was supposed to be on this meeting, but, he's living his best life. So, I'll just speak on his behalf.
Miami will take you there.
Yeah. But shout out to Al Genius. I wish he could be part of this podcast, but he'll be on a future show. So it is what it is. But we basically game and blend gaming with hip hop and entertainment. So when we started the Celebrity Vendetta, what had happened with Al had got pranked on TikTok and it went viral.
Chupapi.
Yo.
Chupapi.
What are you doing,
my
man?
boy, Chupapi. I had to get you, bro. I had to get you with a Chupapi, bro. Chupapi Wanyanyo. My boy, you already know. Chupapi.
So we was just sitting there. I talked to Al almost every day up until he went to Miami, so then we had little gaps, but I talked to him all the time, and I was just sitting, I was like, what if I made y'all and put y'all in a match? And he was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I actually made y'all and put y'all in a wrestling match. Y'all could just settle in the ring. So we started talking even more. And then we was like, we just can't have that match. We have to, kind of build up to it, have characters, different matches that people haven't seen. So we had thought about, we was looking at the celebrity, I forgot what it was called back in the day with MTV, Celebrity Deathmatch. But we had started brainstorming on what kind of matches would you like to see.
Yeah.
And so I'm an 80s baby. So there are a lot of this new generation have no clue of how to be a child, how to be a kid, because they didn't experience things like Child's Play, Three Ninjas, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, Saturday morning cartoons. We grew up in that era where things were changing, but yet some things were still the same. So when we started thinking of matches, and I think our very first match of season 1 was the Ninja Turtles versus the Foot Clan.
DJB pay-per-view.
Look out!
A lot of time and effort went into creating this show for y'all to watch. We appreciate y'all tuning in. And
so I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Tell me what game y'all are playing, because you went into like how it started. So what's the game that y'all are going to play?
The game is WWE 2K20.
Okay.
Okay, so 2K21, the game was so, if you Google the review of 2K20, a lot of wrestling fans would say that this was the worst wrestling game that came out, that WWE has came out with. So that's why there wasn't a 2K21. They made it was like an arcade version called Battlegrounds. They didn't come out with a 2K21. WWE 2K22 is coming out next year for next gen, for the PS5, for the Xbox One X, and I think for the second generations, the P4 and the Xbox One.
Okay.
But we are actually playing a wrestling game, and it's called WWE 2K20. And a lot of people, when I was, reviewing, a lot of people do what we do, but I just think that what we do is better than the others, because you got one guy, one person doing the videos and playing, they're actually playing the controller, because I think that's one of your questions is how do we actually do that? So everything that DJB does is not scripted. We let the computer battle it out, and I'm commentating live on what's happening. So when you see who wins, I don't know who wins. I'm commentating live. And then we let the computer handle it out, and all I'm doing is just the commentary. But you have some that play the game and then they try to, force wins or whatever. Then you have some that do the commentary and play the game. We wanted to do an actual show. Like, so you can go back and watch it over and over again. Like we go back and watch Fresh Prince. We go back and watch Martin. You can go back and watch Celebrity Vendetta and laugh every single time because it's crazy.
Yeah. So when y'all were like creating this game, so Al got pranked by a TikToker.
Yes. It's very funny.
It was funny.
It was funny.
And so after that happened, like you wanted to create a way to put this into a video game for them to fight in this WWE game.
Right.
Got it. Okay. So who is creating the characters though? Because when like some of the episodes are people that I know. And so I'm sitting there like, wow, y'all got music in the background. You got people talking, singing. Like, who's making the characters?
So every single DJB member that you saw in season 1, I made personally. Every single one.
Okay.
I made those, okay?
Yeah.
So there were some that I downloaded, but like some I made because I had to, because we couldn't download them. Like Kirk Franklin, I made Kirk Franklin. Rasputia, I made Rasputia. So a lot of people, that's one thing that I loved about the WWE gaming, is because it gave you a lot of creativity. Like we didn't have a wrestling show at Survivor Series. We was able to make a DJB arena and, say, hey, we're live from the DJB arena. And, it's just a different wrestling product, and it's very, very entertaining because as you go along, you see the story builds up, and then we had a very exciting, exciting finish for season 1 with Megatron winning the Royal Rumble. That was crazy.
Yeah. So when you decided to put this series together, like what was your process? So did y'all like come up with a script and then kind of follow it, or did like an episode happen and then you're like, oh, this is where the next one could go?
The thing about me and Genius is we're able to talk about things and actually come to a collective agreement of how we're going to go forward. Because with the show, we was going based off each show, so then we were like, okay, we're going to have this match, but what's going to incorporate and build to that match? Like, for example, the Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe match. You know, that was going on right around the time of the playoffs. So we was like, wait a minute, you know, Jordan's the GOAT. Well, then people are saying Kobe's the GOAT. Then people are saying LeBron is the GOAT. So we thought, okay, let's put them in a ring, make them climb the ladder, and whoever wins this is going to be the DJB GOAT. You know, so we kind of like, I want to say, ad-libbed, but it was a lot of improv because as the story went along, we actually changed with the story because we didn't want to keep it corny. We didn't want the content to be cheesy.
Yeah.
And we wanted people to grasp and really say, hey, when can I be on DJB? When can I make a guest appearance? That's why you have, like, as you go along, you see certain people come in, it's because they were tuning in and like, wow, what can I do to be a part of it?
Yeah.
You know, so it's exciting, it's funny, and it's great content. It's better than, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's better than the real wrestling storylines, but if you watch it, you get kind of comedy, you get, you know, all of that, you know, so it's very, very humbling that we was able to reach a lot of people, and a lot of people give us positive feedback about what we're doing, because that's what we're trying to do it for.
Yeah.
You know, we want people to see that, you know, we can explain hip-hop entertainment and gaming without always being about violence, you know, because it's funny, you know, a lot of people watch New Jack City and okay, it's a story about drugs, crime, murder, blah, 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 but if you've seen that movie and you see Nino Brown versus Ice-T, you're like, why did, you know, it's
yeah.
Sometimes in movies, you don't get to see who would really win. So, you know, we kind of mixed up and do it like that, you know, so, yeah.
So I want you to go through the DJB characters, because some of them, like, I think I know who it is. And, like, I know your kids, because you talk about them.
Pete Donovan.
And there was like other people, like I'm looking at my notes, so that's why I keep turning. Sonny Dangerous.
Okay.
Like I didn't know who that was, or if he was really from Alaska.
I want to give a shout out to Sonny Dangerous because that's my man Garth. I've known him for almost 25 years. It's like 20 to 25 years. He actually was here in Danville, and you know, I asked him to come over because he used to do a podcast, you know, so he knows about, you know, the odds and ends of, you know, social media, talking about things. You know, they're actually doing a podcast. They've been doing podcasts, him and his friend Brian. But I asked him to come over one day, and I was like, "Yo, I need a character. You know, I need a character to help me commentate."
Yeah.
So he had this old, like I think it was a rap song that that was an alias he was going by. He was like, well, I never used Sonny Dangerous, so let me break him out on this. So he actually brought out a better Silverback, because there's times, like if you guys go back and watch, when me and him were commentating, I'm sitting here in awe laughing at him, and he's laughing at me because we were comboing so well. You know, I think when we was talking about when it was when Medea was getting worked.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, somebody get her some milk. Like,
yo, this is not even a fair match anymore. Rasputin's just throwing Medea around like a rag doll.
You know, she might be like me now, I'm getting hungry, you know. She's like, oh man, what a move. But it did not knock down Medea, but this is him sitting ready to take her down. Ouch.
My goodness. She is in the middle of the ring, dead. Get her some milk.
What power, right?
Yeah.
I was like in awe because we was actually meshing very well as far as the commentary.
Yeah, that's very true.
But that's you know, that's my very good friend. He's like a brother. His name's Garth. But you know, he was Sonny Dangerous, and then we had an issue, you know, where it wasn't really an issue, it was just a misunderstanding. And that's why he wasn't on later shows, because he had actually moved back home. You know, when we did Alaska, we kind of left, you know, Duke Dreamster, which is E-Money, that's Evan. Duke Dreamster is Evan.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah. So Duke Dreamster is Evan. So when Duke Dreamster defeated Sonny Dangerous, we kind of left, Alaska at Alaska, because we was gonna have a whole series where he would host his own show in Alaska, but that's gonna probably be like at a later season because he's gonna eventually come back and visit. He may move back, I don't know. But Sonny Dangerous was a very good character, a very entertaining character. And then, when it went to the ring, Duke Dreamster handled business and got the W. And we moved on to other shows. We went to Miami. When we was in Miami, it was like, okay, let's go to Miami and then do a world tour and then come back and end the season at the DJB Arena and end season 1. So that's how that storyline came about. And like I said, it was crazy. There's a lot of people doing things with gaming, with social media, with podcasts, with entertainment in itself. Me and Genius took a product that a lot of people talked about negatively, and we made something entertaining out of it, and once he, finishes his quest for his royal oats in Miami, we can get started with season 2, because it's very time consuming, the process. But when you sit back and watch what you create, you can just only smile, because it's like, okay, yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Because I like to game, and when we was doing season 1, there was a lot of times where I was not playing the game because I was focused on, putting out the shows and getting the footage to Al.
So let's go back to like your process. So how does, from start to finish, like, you don't have to give explicit details, but just say, like, first the game is played and I'm commentating. Then, we put the music behind it, because there's like music. There's like skits that are in there. There's clips from shows. There's videos with different artists.
Right.
So like, what is the process to make an episode? So
that's why the Celebrity Vendetta is a 2-man team, but at the same time, you got to throw in, my wife. She helped commentate. Tunky Monkey, P. Donovan, Shamira. We actually, even my dad. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a little while. But it was so much that played into making the season 1. But the process is, from the first show to now, we always brainstorm and plan the show before we got to work. Okay. So we will plan the matches. Boom, we have them all written down. So what I would do is I would send Al the matches, and Genius would go ahead and get his music and whatever, his editing and his video clips. He would do all that. That's all Al. So then what I would do is I would record the matches live. There were some people that thought that first I was playing the game, and because a lot of DJB members were winning matches. I mean, it's our show. We should win. We shouldn't lose.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were asking, was I actually playing the game? And no, I wasn't. Everything that I'd done was one take. The only time that we had to reshoot it is because, and I'll give y'all a nugget. If you watch the All Lives Matter match with Big Boss Man, White Ranger, and Black Ranger.
Yeah.
At the end, when Thanos slipped, and then we went back at Black Panther won, the very first match, I want to say that Big Boss Man won. But when my sons have a knack for, if they're playing my game system, they turn the mic off. So we recorded that whole match and there was no audio, and I was upset. Yeah. So like when the boys came home, I'm like, I told y'all about messing with this, and my wife was like, Dennis, it's okay. I'm like, no, that was the perfect match. Like the way we commentated, I wish y'all would have heard it, but no one's gonna hear it because there was no audio. So we had to retake it, and Al actually came up with the thought of, wait a minute, Marvel, Infinity, let's go back and make Black Panther win. but we didn't. That was just the end of the second match that we actually recorded. Okay. So it was kind of a blend of the two. But I'll record the matches, then I'll edit, like I wouldn't edit them, but I will shrink them so I can send them all to Al at once. Okay. And once I do that process, that's when Al does his thing. He adds the music, he adds the skits, and then we post it, and that's the finished product. But that, maybe on the next podcast, Al Genius will go in depth on what he does. But I do the gaming and the commentary. He does the music and puts it all together and puts the finished product out.
So when you're doing commentary, you're like doing it through the game?
Through the game, yes.
Okay.
What I do is I turn all the music down. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that you hear is the wrestling noise and my voice. That way Al blends in the music, and then it's like a created show.
Got it. Okay. So some of your episodes, y'all are talking about like Snickers sponsor Wingstop. Like, what is that even about? Because clearly you're not sponsored by Snickers or Wingstop.
Nah, that was just us using our brain because, Snickers was on there. So, hey, shout out to Snickers. I think I want a Snicker bar right now. So Wingstop was funny because our very first show, I believe it was in DJB Arena, but Wingstop sponsored it. So when Al came to visit, we had 716 Wings, which is a buffalo wing spot. If you ever come to Danville, we're going to take you there, and he'll tell you about that. Yeah. But he was like, he was in Miami, so we was like, okay, well, let's just do Wingstop. So it was just like, that's the comedy aspect. Like, these dudes really ain't sponsored by Wingstop, but hey, this is the DJB universe. Anything is possible, just like the WWE universe. There's some things that they say that's really not happening. We know that, but it's just a way to entertain.
Got it. So one of the biggest things, and I commented on your videos about, is how do you know so much about all these characters? Because you'll be just like spitting out just facts. Like, if just in case you didn't know, he was on such and such and such a video game back in 19 whatever. I'm like, what? Like, how do you remember that? Like, are you researching, or is this stuff that you just really know?
We was blessed to have a good childhood, so I remember things about my childhood because I still watch my childhood. Like, if you ever come to visit, you know what, next time you're in VA, you're coming to Danville. Okay. But if you ever come visit, it's just like we have this family has like a blockbuster as far as films. Any 80s or 90s film that you think of, I think we have. And so I don't really listen to the radio because there's a lot of negativity on the radio. There's a lot of programming on the radio. So when you go back and listen to the jams that we grew up on, like I put somebody on to the movie Mo Money the other day, and they were like, Dennis, oh my God, I never seen this. And I'm like, you're missing so much more. Because we was, like I said, we was blessed to grow up in an era where, yes, there was a lot of bad things going on, but at the same time, there was a lot of good things going on as far as entertainment.
Yeah.
So I also collect Funko Pops. So I'm going to turn my MacBook so you can see. So you see all of these, right?
Oh my goodness.
You see those, right?
Holy smokes.
Yeah. All right. So hold on. So those are the ones that are hanging up on the wall. You see the door where the Space Jam is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So those are the ones that will never, ever leave this family. So I'm going to read them off to you. They're Barry Sanders, Biggie, which is a special edition Biggie, Robert Griffin III, because I'm a Redskins fan. And the fun fact is, That is the only Redskins pop that will ever come out because since the name change.
Oh, that's right.
So that is the only Redskins pop that you will ever see Funko come out with. So I got a Harlem Globetrotter, Aaliyah, Selena, Axel Foley, James Brown for my dad, Prince for my sister, and then I got my Hall of Fame right there above the TV. So you have Jordan, Shaq, my Donald Duck, which is in the middle, which is signed by the voice of Donald Duck.
Wow.
Giannis, my Wu-Tang, and then some more biggies. But yeah, this is the cave.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll tell you 2 funny stories, all right? So my dad, he comes downstairs when he comes to visit, and he looks at me, he says, that's a damn shame. That's what he said, okay? So then Evan came down, and he's just looking, and you can just look at him and tell, damn, bruh's taking it back to childhood with some of these. And then Al came, and Al was like, this is like, a kid's museum as far as what we grew up on, because like I have White Men Can't Jump pop, Dumb and Dumber pops, TLC, Run DMC, Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper. I have 2.
Wow.
Yeah, The Goonies, Mighty Ducks. I have it all.
So where do you get them? Because I remember them from Blockbuster, but there's no Blockbuster. So
no, you can get Funko Pops at Walmart, Target, GameStop, but the ones that I have a lot of rare ones and I have some commons, but I just had to recently sell some because my wife was telling me that I needed to downsize, which I didn't want to. But at the same time, I understood because I was just literally going to the store every day looking to buy a pop, and I just stopped doing that. So I'm proud of the collection I have now, and I'm not going to buy any for the foreseeable future. Like if I see if it's going to add to what I already have, then maybe. But the process of me going every day to the store just to see what they have, I don't do that no more.
Got it. Okay.
But some of my creativity for these matches comes from looking at these pops or looking at my movies, or looking at my figurines. That's where I get some of my creativity on what we're going to do for the show.
Got it. Because I mean, literally, like some of the people that were on there, I didn't even know who they were. And then like you would just go into, like, if you recall, he was in the first such and such movie, and a lot of people don't know this, but he did. I'm like, no, a lot of people don't know that.
Well, you got to be prepared when you're trying to, grasp an audience. You can't, like I said, that's one thing that shout out to Sonny Dangerous. That's one thing that I did like about him was he brought out a better me, because I'm listening to him and he's going off script by doing improv, but at the same time, he's still keeping everything knowledgeable and funny and entertaining. So it was like, he brought out a better Silverback.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to sound fake, but if you watch our product, there's nothing fake about it. It's all funny.
And my favorite line was when he was like, what's his name? Haitian, no, Cuba.
Funny David.
I was like, oh my God.
He had a lot of funny moments,
He's like, I've never seen a woman that size.
Yeah. He's like, that's my type of woman right there. Like, oh, really? It's your type of woman, huh?
Yes. Oh man. Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
Definitely funny. But so one thing that I did notice was like, as you went on and you were going through the episodes, like you got a lot more comfortable.
Right.
And I feel like when you're with your kids, that was like the most natural and like the most comfortable for you, because you would be like telling them stuff and then they're jumping in. Like your youngest son, he's like, I've never seen that. You're like, what? Oh, you're gonna watch it as soon as we're done this. Like,
yeah. Like Kyan is, I would say, as far as the kids putting in work, Pete Donovan was a known character because of I guess his nature, because the crazy thing about P. Donovan is just how he was in the season.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he is in real life. And like, we're trying to wonder how is it possible for the computer to pick up on that? Because that is exactly how Donovan is. He's very hyper. He's, that's just him, so the kids made me a lot comfortable, but there was one time where Al kind of pushed the button and I kind of was like, but when we talked, we agreed it was the Women's Royal Rumble. So I'm sitting here because the kids are commentating.
Yeah.
And we get to talking about, WAP. And
I was gonna bring that up.
I was trying to play it off like I didn't know what it was, but I knew what it was. And like when every time the product comes to YouTube, when I watch it for the first time, I don't see what he does with the music and the clips until he posts it. So I'm watching the Rumble with them, and I'm like, here comes Cardi B, and they're getting excited, like, yeah, why? And I'm like, well, what is WAP? You better give me some worship and praise or something. But it was and I got on the out about it. He was like, cuz. He was like, I knew you was going to say something, but sometimes we got to push the envelope. So when I thought about that, I was like, you know what? My kids really aren't kids. They're growing, and part of us doing this is that, another reason me and Al did what we did is because we wish that we had time more with some of our grandparents or family members that are no longer with us. We all wish that, so I've always told them, because there was one time that I got real upset with Kyan because I'm like, all right, Kyan, we're getting ready to come put in some work. And he was like, Dad, I don't want to do it no more. I just don't want to. And I'm like, I got mad. But my wife had to tell me that he doesn't understand why you're doing it. And part of it is the reason why we do it is because if for something were to happen to us, y'all can always go back to YouTube and hear and see, you know what I'm saying? So we try to incorporate life moments. And at the same time, just do something for family. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can go back and watch this. Like Aunt Grace, when he was putting together the match between Kirk Franklin and Court, like, she was like, oh, I like this, so we can't, I want to say, no, I don't, it's just very humbling that we're able to put like the family name into what we're doing, because we have family doing things and to help with the show,
Right.
So like I said, when I saw that my dad was commentating with Al, I had no idea. So when I saw that for the first time, I'm sitting here in tears, crying and laughing at the same time, because you see my dad like commentating with Al, and like Al, like, I was like, what is that? Some weed or whatever? And my dad, and it was just funny because that's how my dad is. He was being himself.
Go ahead, go. That really him? That's really him, yes. We're in Miami. How you like the weather out here? Is it good? Everything good? Did you try the hot dogs at the concession stand? Because they were pretty good, I must say. I'm ready for the popcorn now. Well, hopefully we have some popcorn and some champagne after this match. Let's go back and bring it on home, y'all. Let's get it. He doesn't even know his dad's in the building. If he knew right now, he's definitely ready to turn up. Satellite, man. You got that right. You got that right. Satellite do matter because we like to eat Reed's family. Right. You see, he got the DJ B.
Yeah, he's like, son, he's like, you better get up.
Right.
You better get it together.
So, when I saw that, that's when Al was like, well, cuz season 2, you need to put your face on the show, like you need,
yes,
he was like, that's what we're going to do next season. But at the same time, with me, if I have a camera looking at me, you're not going to get authentic Silverback, because I'm going to be worried about how I'm looking. Do I got anything coming out my mouth or what? So I don't mind doing that maybe once or twice, like as a special appearance. You'll see me, but I have the ability that people can see and they will know how I am by hearing me. So you don't have to see me to hear me. That's the aspect that I get of it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, on his commentating, he always had like his video at the bottom when he was talking. So I was gonna ask you that, like, are you planning to do that the next time? Because I feel like it did add like an element of like putting a face to a voice type thing where,
right.
I mean, I know Al, but like some of the other people that are in the series, like it would be nice to see their faces, especially when they're like incorporated into being a character.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like all the time, but even if it was just like your picture or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I will, like I said, I don't mind doing it once or twice or something like, okay, so we had, what did we have? 12 shows, right? No, it was 20.
24.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Because when I was like, these are like an hour.
No. It's 24 episodes, but I believe it's 12 shows. That's what I'm saying. Like each show.
Split.
Yeah. So I want to say that if we had 24 episodes, I wouldn't mind doing maybe 5 or 6 face-to-face. You know,
no, you gotta do it
more than that.
You gotta do it all because like you're very animated. So like, especially when you laugh and stuff, like you want to relate to people. Like it would draw people in if they're like seeing you, and then they realize that you're really watching this fight. Like you didn't see it ahead of time. So I think like even listening to y'all, like just to be able to see like your kids, like in my head, I'm picturing them like, oh man, are you kidding me? Like with the hands and like, you know, that's not what I thought was going to happen. I knew my guy was going to win or whatever. It would just be like nice to see, you know, their actual like reactions to stuff.
Right. I get that. But the thing about our product is you can hear us and feel the natural reaction.
But I think that it draws you in more like when you see the people.
Right. And that's something that I'm gonna have to work on. You know, like Absolutely. I said, I'm gonna work on that. You know how we do things spontaneous, right?
Yeah.
So we do things improv, right? So my wife is coming down the stairs, so she's gonna sit in my chair, and I'm gonna let you pick her brain for a second, all right? Isha, this is my wife, Amanda.
He just put you on the spot.
He did. He did.
Yeah. So like you were on a couple of them, right?
I was. At first I was like, well, I don't know much about wrestling. I don't watch wrestling. I know a few like the old school wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Andre, those like back when I was little. But I don't know about like the people today. But he was like, just be you. So I just, I was just like, okay. I was just talking. I was like, I just went along. I just followed his lead, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. And, I kind of let it be a him and with the boys, their thing. Right. Yeah, that was more up their alley. But the couple that I did with them, they were okay.
I told him, I'm like, as I was like watching it, at first I'm like, I don't know what this is about, but I'm just gonna keep watching it. And then like I'm going on through different like episodes and I'm all in it, like they were cheating. Like that was 3 counts. Clearly he just won this match and I'm like all into it. But yeah, I think it's gonna be it's a good little series. Like once I understood it and like you're following the storyline and seeing like all of what they're creating, I think it's a good concept. So
yeah, I actually he had me watch the first 3. I think we were upstairs, just ready to go to bed, and he was like, just watch these.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to sit and watch wrestling. I'm not one to sit and watch video games.
Right.
I might play like Scrabble once in a blue moon, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I remember those, they were interesting. Like I was interested in them. So they had to be something. They had to be good.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I was watching it, I was kind of reluctant, like, oh my goodness, I gotta watch 24 of these and half of them are like 45 minutes.
Absolutely.
But by the end, like I'm sitting there like, okay, I can't wait for them to like do this again.
Yeah. So you watched all 24?
I did. All last week I watched all of them.
Okay, yeah. That and it's funny because sometimes like Donovan, that like you really get a feel of who he is, like in real life. Like that's not him just doing for the show. That's Donovan being Donovan.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes he probably said things that I don't even know about yet, or just blurted out something. But I mean, it is what it is. That that's him. That's just him being him.
Yeah.
I think it kind of added a little bit of family flavor to it.
It did, and I was telling DJ, I'm like, that's when he was the most comfortable to me. Outside of him and Sunny Dangerous, but like when he was with the boys and they're just sitting there and he's like telling them about all the shows and stuff and all the characters. That was fun to listen to.
Yeah. They enjoyed it with him. They did.
Yeah, it's good. I'm excited to see where they take it.
Yeah, we'll see where season 2 goes.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, how many seasons are y'all gonna do? Still no answer. It's indefinite, I guess. I don't know, but they have fun doing it. I think it's a good thing. And at one time, I think I asked him something. We were talking something. I don't even remember what we were talking about. And he said, he's like, this is something that can be something that the boys watch later on in life.
Yeah.
And remember, this is something that we did with Dad, And so I was like, okay, I'll let it slide a little bit. Because I was like, you're doing he'll be like, I'm working on characters. I'll be like, okay, But when he said that, it kind of was like, you know what? I was like, yeah. I can see that point. And he knows I got a soft spot for the boys, so he wasn't gonna say anything after that.
Yeah.
But it was nice talking to you. I'm gonna let you take your spot back. Okay. I can't turn my dryer back on. And he just put me on the spot. But here he is. He's over here pacing.
Okay.
All right. It was nice talking to you.
You too.
I'm excited for season 2. As soon as Al tells me that he's ready, we'll get it started. We planned on doing season 2 when the new one came out, but the new one doesn't come out till like next July or something like that. And I was like, nah. I said, we can't let season 1 just sit there all this time. I said, we got to get, some, and we got some, some good content coming. We just got to plan it and put it all together. Now that season 1 is done, while we're preparing for season 2, we can still go back and still promote season 1 by showing short clips.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people saw that short clip of Rasputia and Medea, and then they jumped straight to that episode. My thing is that I appreciate it regardless, but if you just start from 1 and work your way up to 24, you're going to see the storyline come. Just like the storyline with Al, since this is my first podcast, DJ B's first podcast regarding Celebrity Vendetta. When Al was going up against Jay Kinda Funny, that guy came out, that that was totally unscripted. I didn't even know that was going to happen. We were just like, who is this person? So when he came out, I was already upset because that was a contributing factor of Al losing that first match. Al should have won, but if you really go back and look at it, me and Al have lost a lot, like, you know, our fair share of matches. We've lost, but we've also won. But when that guy Eric came out, that spawned the storyline of me coming on the next show and whipping his ass, and then Al seeing him backstage, because, you know, when Al had that famous line, you know, I don't know who you are, my man, but when I see you, it's on, my man. So we was like, okay, let's put them in a backstage brawl. Al sees Eric. We actually made Eric a more popular character on DJB than he is in WWE. You know, because
he's like a real WWE character.
Wrestler, yeah.
Oh, see, I thought that was somebody that y'all created.
He's a real WWE wrestler.
Oh, okay, got it.
So we actually made him popular. Well, he wasn't he was popular because he was hated on, because he was, you know, he helped Jay Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we was rooting for the Duck Hunt Dog, then the Duck Hunt Dog turned on us, you know, so it was just like, wow. Like, it's like, did my PlayStation remember the storyline of what was going on? Because it's like, as it was going on, it kind of stayed in tune.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, I'm very proud of the work that we put in. You know, shout out to all the DJB members, but to the DJB members that actually put in work, you know, on the Celebrity Vendetta, that would be, you know, me, Al Genius, Mac Mittens, and the DJB Dead Eyes, Mac Mittens, and see, I'm having a brain fart right now. Because me and Mac Mittens had actually, we really had a beef, because he was the one that was really telling Genius that, you know, I'm boosting the stats, I'm making certain people win, and and so we settled that. We settled that in the ring, and I think I won. It was Mac Mittens, me, and I'm looking at it right now, Liu Kang. That was the other one. You know, those core members were the ones that of DJB was putting in work as far as characters in Celebrity Vendetta. Liu Kang, Mac Mittens, Silverback, Al Genius, and then we added members like P. Donovan, Tunky Monkey, Little Bo E, Big Dante, Hanky. I'm missing one more. Tunky Monkey.
You said that. What was your brother's character? What was Evan's character?
Duke Dreamster.
Yeah.
Dangerous, and then Reeves Sr.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like season 2 is going to have those same members, but at the same time, we're going to be incorporating new DJB characters. Because one thing that I'm trying to get Al to understand is we wanted the season 1 to be all about, you know, the DJB universe. Season 2, I'm trying to bring back some of the core wrestlers from our childhood into season 2 and to wrestle, maybe have their own storyline or mixed with DJB, but like, you know, Jake the Snake and Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan, which they've already made appearances. Well, Hulk Hogan's made an appearance because he was our Gorilla Strong champion and he lost. We've had, you know, Brooklyn Brawler in there, you know, some old wrestlers, but we're gonna bring a lot more. That's why I said the canvas is blank and the paintbrush is infinite as far as what we can do as far as the content of what we bring, you know. So I'm just excited for the future, you know, but we just gotta, you know, like I said, continue to push and continue to grind.
Yeah.
But what was what you watched all 24 episodes? So what was one of your favorite matches?
commentated when y'all were talking about J-Lo and Beyonce, because I'm like,
Okay.
well, I don't know if it was J-Lo and Beyonce. I think it was the female brawl one. It was like two different ones. One, you made a comment talking about if she had breast implants, her heels the pointy part of her shoe would have popped her breast implants. I'm like, no, it wouldn't.
Hey, look, I when we talk about women,
it's so sexist. Like y'all were talking, you're like J-Lo, you're getting beat by a pop singer with a bunch of husbands.
I mean, yeah, because like when you think about J-Lo and then you think about Beyonce, the two really pop divas of our time, because we grew up with J-Lo, and she wasn't really a pop diva. She was because she was with Fly Girls in Living Color, but then she started coming out with her movies. She was acting, and then you had Beyonce come up. To me, she wasn't the best member of Destiny's Child. I'll always say that, but she spawned into her own thing. So he was like, okay, let's bring them two together. And how I remember J-Lo is, I mean, she was with everybody. I mean, she was with Diddy. She was with A-Rod. She was with tons of people. And that's Hollywood. So I'm just going to leave it.
It is.
That's Hollywood. That's why we love the DJ Blee platform, because just as an example, how is it that Bill Cosby gets out of jail and he wins our Royal Rumble? So like
in his jail uniform.
With
no shoes on.
We got to push the envelope. That was a moment right there.
When he came out, I was like, y'all really went there.
Because
I'm not gonna lie, I was reluctant and I really didn't know what to expect. But as I was going through, like, you kind of get into it, and I really thought that Norbit and Rasputia was gonna go all the way. So I was kind of mad when they lost. That was my favorite tag team. So
you're talking about Norbit and Professor Klump.
No, I thought it was Rasputia.
No, Rasputia was her own entity.
Oh, it was Professor Klump.
And Norbit, that was the dream team.
Yes, that's it. My bad.
But we are going to bring back most of the characters, and they're going to make an appearance somehow, way, shape, or form. Because just like in wrestling, if you lose a title, you always have a chance for a rematch. So right now, our current DJB tag team champions is the DeVille Villains, which is Al G and Big Dante.
Yeah.
We have Reeves Sr. as the DJB heavyweight champ. Chun-Li as the DJB women's champ. I think Devin Booker is our NBA 2K champ. Corp is our Intercontinental champ.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corp for being a comeback player, because let me tell you something. I don't know how he did not beat Kurt Franklin, but at the same time, my commentary explained it. You got this man won a lot of Grammys, won a lot of, you just can't come into an arena thinking that you're just going to beat him easy peasy. And that's what Corp tried to do, but he redeemed himself by coming back to win the DJB Intercontinental Championship.
He sure did. And that song has been in my head all week.
Hey.
That you're holding on. The devil don't like it.
Is making his way to the DJB arena.
The fact you're being strong, the devil don't like it.
Like I said, folks, when idols become rivals,
no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Celebrity beats while we incorporate our
no
own
weapon
characters as well. So right now we have Corporal D getting ready
to
Listen.
square
Against Kurt Franklin.
The fact that you won't bow down.
I remember him putting it on Facebook. And like I listened to it, but now like just the fact that y'all had it in the background of him walking in.
Yes.
I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my favorite theme song. If y'all were
okay, so Court with the theme song.
Yeah, that it's in my head, man. I can't get it out of my head.
We actually are gonna have some awards, but I know Corp is in the running for the comeback player of the year. You know what I'm saying? This is the person that suffered a lot in the DJB universe, but came back and just stole the moment. And he did that by winning when he won that belt. You know, so I appreciate you having me. I look forward to be back soon, hopefully. You know, like I said, after, you know, Genius comes back from Zamunda, you know, we can have more podcasts to keep these people informed, because that's what it's all about. It's about the entertaining and hip hop. And for those that do watch this later on, if there's something that y'all want to see, you know, shoot my cousin a message, shoot me a message, and I'll make sure I do my best to get it to you. Because I know that someone had asked that they wanted to see the Ghostbusters in a match, like all four of them. And then I'm hearing Saved by the Bell because we brought Fresh Prince. So
wait, I have a request because I thought y'all were gonna have the ladies of the View, but it was just Whoopi. I want to see all of them, either the View, the Real, one of them shows. You gotta do it.
Okay, well,
you gotta do it.
I'll get to working.
I was all excited. I'm like, oh, Barbara Walters about to go down, but it wasn't.
We put Whoopi in, like Whoopi, her character, because you got to think about it. You had Sister Act, you had Color Purple, you know, you had The View, you had Eddie. So we threw Whoopi in there off the strength of that, you know. But I see what you're saying with The View, because who was that? Barbara Walters? Was Rosie O'Donnell on The View?
At one point, I don't know. There's like 5 shows to talk: The View, The Real.
Okay.
So it could even be like one from each of the talk shows or something. I don't know. But I was really thinking that's what I was about to see, and then
good idea. Because what about if we go back to Whoopi versus Ricky Lake? You know what I'm saying?
No, you got to have Jenny Jones versus Ricky Lake then.
Yeah. See,
or Sally Jesse Raphael with the red glasses.
Yeah, see, Judge Judy.
Exactly.
Sky for the next seasons, you know. But
Jerry Springer and what's that other guy's name? And Maury Povich. Yeah, that'd be good.
You know, we did a thing with Dr. Phil. We thought that angle was funny.
It was funny.
And then, you know, Pete Donovan, you know, being the problem child. But we're going to twist it up a little more. You know, like I said, I'm going to get with Genius, and we're going to start season 2. Like, because we planned on, and that's the thing, you know, with him taking that trip, because we were supposed to come out with a Halloween show. You know, but, you know, the circumstances just didn't happen. But that doesn't mean that we can't have one at a later date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to wait on things for them to pop. So I'm going to take your advice as far as making them short clips and putting them out there, promote season 1, but then season 2 is going to be epic.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks for coming on. And that was a great conversation. We went off on some tangents, but I look forward to y'all coming back and giving me some insights into season 2 once y'all start getting going with it. And if you want to come on and do your awards for season 1 before season 2, let me know. And we can show some clips of your nominees and have like a whole little award show. Yeah.
Laugh. You know, like I said, I mean, it's very entertaining. That's I can't keep saying that enough. If you watch it, you're going to be nothing but entertained, you know, and then we're going to go from there.
Sounds good. All right. Well, keep me posted on everything. And I'm going to put the link to the Celebrity Vendetta in our notes, our show notes and description.
If you need to get in contact with me, it'd be Silverback OG on Instagram. Yeah, Silverback OG. And then, of course, Al Genius 81. But we have a lot of content on our YouTube page. But the main thing is what we're talking about is the Celebrity Vendetta.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will put links to their Instagram pages in our description so that y'all can check them out, ask some questions, put in your requests for some matches that you want for season 2. And if they can fit it in to go along with the storyline, maybe yours will make it in.
Right. Yeah. And that's it. To request, all you got to do is comment on the actual, the comment. If you just comment, hey, we want to see this, or what do you think about this? That will be the quickest way for us to see it, because we watch these videos all the time, then when we get new comments, we get alerts, so the best way to do is if you want to see something spectacular or you have a question about anything, just comment and we'll be sure to get you a quick reply.
Absolutely. So make sure y'all go subscribe to their channel, like the Celebrity Vendetta videos. There are 24 of them. Make sure that you like each one, watch them all the way through, and leave some comments.
Word. Love is love, cuz. I'll see you next time.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
And that's a wrap on another amazing episode. I know that you were just as inspired as I was after listening to that conversation. And to let us know how we're doing, don't forget to leave us a review, like, share, and follow the podcast. Also, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Girl Blogger, and check out our website, www.theblackgirlblogger.com. And the most important step, make sure you share the podcast with someone you know and tell them to share it with someone they know. And if you know someone who has an amazing story to tell, or if you yourself would love to tell your story, leave us a message on our website or any of our social media platforms so we can reach out to you and have you on the podcast. Until next time, peace out.